Is there anything about Ross and his career that you have any respect for?
Oh no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him. You know, I understand from a perspective of someone who's just listening to what it sounds like.
I mean, he's a great rapper.
But does it matter that he's a correctional officer? Does that ever matter? Does it matter? Even when artists, look at the artists, look at the irony of the artists that come under him.
So Meek,
right?
Wale,
prison reform, and all of the wrongfully convicted and wrongfully treated people in the prison system.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up.
For over a decade, their names have been synonymous with rap's most relentless feuds. 50 Cent and Rick Ross, two titans locked in an unyielding battle for supremacy and respect. Just when you thought the dust had settled, 50 Cent launched another brutal attack. But this time, something's different. Rick Ross isn't holding back. He's fired back harder than ever, and the industry is buzzing. Did 50 Cent finally push Rick Ross too far? Get ready. This just got personal. Curtis Jackson, known to the world as 50 Cent, rose from the streets of Queens with a gritty narrative and an undeniable talent for catchy hooks and lyrical aggression. His breakthrough in the early 2000s redefined gangsta rap, establishing him as a force to be reckoned with. His reputation wasn't just built on music. It was forged in a persona known for relentless public feuds, shrewd business acumen, and an unshakable confidence that captivated millions globally. He built an empire and a brand synonymous with dominance. Long before Rick Ross, 50 Cent cemented his reputation as a formidable opponent in rap beefs. From J. Rule to The Game, 50 proved consistently that he was willing to go further than most, attacking not just musical careers, but personal lives and business ventures. This history instilled a fear factor, making artists think twice before crossing him. His calculated attacks were often strategic, designed to dismantle reputations and solidify his own position at the top of the hip-hop hierarchy. The very first sparks between 50 Cent and Rick Ross ignited around the late 2000s, often attributed to a chance encounter at an awards show. 50 Cent reportedly felt disrespected, which was all the fuel he needed. His early attacks were subtle jabs, but quickly escalated into direct challenges to Ross's street credibility and persona. This initial friction laid the groundwork for one of rap's most enduring and bitter rivalries, setting a hostile tone for years to come. 50 Cent's most infamous early tactic against Rick Ross involved mocking his past as a correctional officer, dubbing him Officer Ricky. This was a direct assault on Ross's boss persona, which heavily leaned on a street gangsta image. 50 weaponized this information relentlessly, using online videos and interviews to ridicule Ross, aiming to strip away his credibility in the eyes of the public and within the hip-hop community. Beyond the lyrical jabs, 50 Cent often sought to undermine Rick Ross's business ventures and public image. He would publicly criticize album sales, challenge brand endorsements, and leverage his own social media presence to spread negative narratives about Ross. These attacks were designed not just to win a rap battle, but to inflict real financial and reputational damage, a signature move in 50's long history of feuds. Born William Leonard Roberts II, Rick Ross quickly established himself as the boss of Miami, commanding respect with his opulent lyrics and powerful presence. His distinct voice and storytelling captured the essence of lavish street life, building a massive following. He founded Maybach Music Group, MMG, nurturing a roster of successful artists and expanding his own formidable empire within hip-hop. When 50 Cent launched his initial attacks, Rick Ross initially chose a mix of defiance and direct counter-diss tracks. He largely dismissed the Officer Ricky claims as irrelevant to his current stature, portraying himself as too established to be bothered by such antics. His responses focused on reasserting his authenticity and dismissing 50 Cent as a fading rival desperate for attention. Rick Ross's boss persona wasn't just a gimmick, it became central to his identity and his brand. He consistently projected an image of wealth, power, and unwavering authenticity, both in his music and public appearances. Defending this persona against 50 Cent's relentless attacks was crucial, as it underpinned his entire artistic and business empire. Despite 50 Cent's aggressive tactics, Rick Ross's career continued to flourish. He released successful albums, collaborated with major artists, and expanded MMG into a respected label. This sustained success was a powerful retort in itself, demonstrating that 50's attempts to derail his career were largely unsuccessful, allowing Ross to maintain his relevance and power. Rick Ross often used his music as his primary weapon against 50 Cent, preferring lyrical assaults to prolonged social media exchanges. His diss tracks aimed to discredit 50 Cent's street narrative and challenge his authenticity, often referencing his past business dealings and perceived fall from grace. Ross framed himself as the legitimate street voice, contrasting with 50's calculated persona. The beef escalated dramatically when 50 Cent crossed what many considered a major line, involving the mother of one of Rick Ross's children in a highly public and controversial manner. This move was widely condemned for its personal nature and perceived low blow. It solidified the 50's reputation for ruthless tactics, but also drew criticism from many within and outside the hip-hop community. Beyond the personal attacks, 50 Cent often taunted Rick Ross regarding his financial status and business ventures. He questioned Ross's wealth, mocked his perceived spending habits, and publicly highlighted any perceived financial struggles. This was part of 50's strategy to dismantle Ross's boss image by attacking its perceived financial foundation. 50 Cent's legal battles and past financial woes themselves became fodder for Rick Ross. However, 50 Cent, always resourceful, often leveraged these situations to his advantage, spinning narratives that framed him as a resilient survivor. He continued to use his social media platforms as a primary weapon, directly addressing Ross with memes and direct challenges. Even in recent years, when the beef seemed to simmer down, 50 Cent would often reignite it with an unexpected jab or a subtle remark about Rick Ross. His consistency in keeping the rivalry alive, even when Ross seemed to ignore him, demonstrated 50's commitment to maintaining his position as a dominant, intimidating figure in hip-hop. 50 Cent's latest attack on Rick Ross, the one that sparked this heated response, reportedly targeted a specific vulnerability or recent event concerning Ross. This move was a calculated escalation, designed to get a significant reaction and push the feud back into the public consciousness, proving that 50 still pulls strings in the rivalry. Rick Ross's response to 50 Cent's most recent attack was reportedly swift and severe. Unlike previous instances where he might have dismissed it or offered a subtle retort, this time he reportedly fired back hard, indicating a significant escalation in his counteroffensive, moving beyond subtle jabs to direct confrontation. The sheer intensity of Rick Ross's comeback indicates that 50 Cent might have indeed gone too far this time. Ross's words and actions reportedly suggest a boundary was crossed, prompting a more personal and unfiltered reaction than fans have seen in a while, signaling a new, more dangerous phase of their long-standing feud. Ross's retort reportedly did not pull any punches. He is said to have directly addressed specific points of 50 Cent's latest attack, refuting claims and launching his own scathing criticisms. This directness marked a departure from previous strategies, showing a willingness to engage 50 Cent head-on with undeniable force. The impact of Rick Ross's too far moment is undeniable. His response has sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, sparking widespread discussion and drawing attention to the raw, personal nature of their ongoing conflict. It has cemented this latest exchange as one of the most memorable chapters in their rivalry. Despite the escalating tension, Rick Ross continues to maintain his boss persona, but with an added layer of aggression and defiance. His public appearances and social media activity following the incident show a man ready to defend his reputation and his legacy, signaling that he will not back down from 50 Cent's provocations. 50 Cent, known for his ability to bait and provoke, likely anticipated a reaction from Rick Ross. However, the intensity of Ross's fire back might have even surprised 50 himself. The beef is now squarely back in the spotlight, a testament to 50's skill in keeping feuds alive, even if it means drawing a fiercer response. The question now turns to 50 Cent's next move. Will he escalate further, or will he perhaps pivot, having achieved his goal of drawing a significant response? His strategy in these feuds is often unpredictable, blending calculated attacks with seemingly spontaneous jabs, keeping both his opponent and the audience on edge. 50 Cent's brand thrives on controversy and conflict. His longevity in the game is partly due to his willingness to engage in high-profile beefs that capture public attention. This latest exchange with Rick Ross serves as another example of his ability to remain relevant by igniting or reigniting compelling narratives. The public's perception of 50 Cent in this feud often oscillates between viewing him as a master strategist and a relentless provocateur. His ability to draw such a heated response from Rick Ross, even after years, underscores his enduring power to influence the hip-hop landscape and command attention. As the beef continues to unfold, 50 Cent will likely continue to deploy his signature blend of humor, insult, and calculated business moves. His ultimate goal is often to assert dominance and maintain his position at the top, regardless of who he has to challenge along the way. Rick Ross's decision to fire back hard signifies a pivotal moment in his strategy against 50 Cent. It shows a willingness to escalate the conflict on his terms, asserting that he will not be a passive target of 50's attacks. This directness could redefine the dynamics of their long-standing rivalry. The phrase, "he went too far this time," encapsulates the sentiment surrounding Rick Ross's reaction. It implies a personal boundary was crossed, pushing Ross beyond his usual calculated responses into a realm of raw, unbridled fury. This uncharacteristic intensity has captivated fans and media alike. The fallout from this exchange could be significant for both artists. For Rick Ross, his powerful retort could solidify his standing as an unyielding force who won't be disrespected. It reinforces his boss image, proving that he can stand toe-to-toe with one of rap's most notorious beef initiators. Rick Ross's response not only addresses 50 Cent, but also sends a broader message to the industry. He will not tolerate disrespect, and he is willing to defend his name and his territory with full force. This serves as a powerful reminder of his stature and influence in hip-hop. As the dust settles, the question remains: what comes next for Rick Ross in this revived beef? Will he continue to press his advantage, or will 50 Cent retreat? Ross's powerful counterattack has reshaped the narrative, leaving fans eagerly anticipating the next chapter in this truly wild feud.